Governor Ron DeSantis hopes to raise at least $10 million to boost Donald Trump. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 presidential election because everyone, it appears that Ron DeSantis will officially support Trump's re-election campaign, and I know, people are going to say that, well, actually DeSantis has been backing it for months now, which, yeah, that is true technically. The problem is, he hasn't actually done anything so far. Yeah, he endorsed Trump, but he hasn't done a rally for him, he hasn't done events for him, really nothing as of now. Well, it appears that Ron DeSantis, starting soon, will do a bunch of fundraisers for Trump's re-election campaign, and he hopes to rake in at least $10 million. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Again, folks, all support is greatly appreciated, and yeah. Now, let us get into it. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hopes to raise at least $10 million as part of a multi-state fundraising swing for former President Donald Trump, a man he fought in a bitter primary race but with whom he has now found a cautious truce. Yeah, it appears that Ron DeSantis realized, okay, if I actually want some kind of political future, I need to support Trump as much as I can. He may not like it, but he has to. It's just the reality of the Republican Party. If you piss off Trump and his voters, you don't have a political future. You just don't. And that's a problem that the DeSantis campaign failed to realize, at least in January. They really thought that, oh, even if we somehow lose Iowa, because they really thought they were going to magically win the Iowa caucus, if we lost, we would be the front runners going into 2028. No. Especially if you're hostile towards Trump and his supporters, which that's the case. That was what was happening in the primary. His people were hostile towards anyone that supported Trump. I think we believe Biden needs to be beat, and the governor is willing to put the sword down, a top DeSantis advisor said. They have had several good conversations as recently as last week. So this isn't speculation, this isn't a rumor that, oh, someone said that he said, she said, he said that he might do something for Trump. No. It sounds like, according to a DeSantis advisor, yeah, DeSantis realized I need to support Trump however I can. Whether that's rallies, whether that's fundraisers, if I can help beat Biden, I'll do it. The fundraising events will begin as soon as July and likely run through September, the DeSantis advisor said, with multiple events expected in Texas, California, and Washington. The plan is to tap into states where DeSantis already had substantial donor networks from his own presidential bid to be able to quickly raise cash for Trump. And I think this is a smart move. And my question is, where the hell has this DeSantis been? I'm not talking about the cringe one that was running last year. I'm talking about the one that acts like Ron DeSantis. Someone that's a team player that's going to back Trump or whoever the Republican nominee is and is willing to do anything. But my problem with this is he waited till July to start doing these fundraisers, which I know some people might say, well, he might have done one already. Maybe. But these are the first ones that we know for certain he's doing for Trump. So that's my problem. Why didn't you do this back in March? Why? You could have started doing this even back in February. You could have started doing fundraisers for Trump. You waited till July. That's my only problem with this entire situation. I'm still grateful that DeSantis realized, okay, I have to support Trump. Obviously, he's a way better option than Biden. But it makes you really wonder, why did you wait so long? If you would have done this back in February, I think the bitterness we see with a lot of Trump supporters around DeSantis, I think it'll be a lot less prevalent. It would still exist, but I think a lot of Trump supporters would look at DeSantis and say, you know, he made a dumb move to run against him, but at least he realized at the end of the day, Trump is the leader of the Republican Party, and he has to back him. It's in places where there's existing infrastructure for stuff like this, the DeSantis advisor said, and I think that's smart. I think it's really smart to do these events in states where DeSantis raised a lot of money in. States like Washington, California, Texas. You know, states that have a lot of big donors compared to other states. I do think that's a smart move because DeSantis, he can fundraise. The problem is he wasted that money on the nonsensical primary that got him second place in Iowa, and that's it. If he would have used that money to help Trump's re-election bid, he would 100% be the front runner for 24, or 28, I should say. But instead, he wasted that money. Hundreds of millions of dollars wasted. The money raised will be used to fund media buys and key swing states targeted by Trump's political orbit. And again, this is good stuff. I am grateful that he is, in fact, supporting Trump in a actual manner, not just, oh, he sent one statement out 5 months ago saying he will back Trump, and that's it. No, he's actually doing events for Donald Trump. The fundraising events will technically be for Right for America, a pro-Trump super PAC started in January and led by Ike Perlmutter, the former chairman of Marvel Entertainment by Disney, who is a longtime GOP rainmaker who has been a political supporter of both Trump and DeSantis. The arrangement was first reported by the AP. And again, this is smart stuff that they're doing it through Trump's campaign. They're not going to try to use the, Never Stand Up or that super PAC, the super PAC that was a disaster. Everyone knows Never Stand Up was a disaster. And I'm glad they're just using Trump's super PACs, not DeSantis's, because let's face it, if that money went to those bozos, which again, they might be gone, but I guarantee you part of that money would just vanish, and no one would know where the hell it went. The Wire service reported that Trump called him to a South Florida donor event hosted by DeSantis this month to praise his former political rival. "Ron, I love that you're back," Trump said. And I really think this shows that this pettiness between Trump and DeSantis, it was never going to be a lasting thing. Both these men realize that it is better for the Republican Party if they're united. Because the disagreements between Trump and DeSantis, it's over the dumbest of things. I mean, seriously. The COVID stuff at this point in time, no one cares about it. No one cares about the issue of COVID 4 years after the fact. It's true. So why the hell would anyone even talk about it today? I don't get it. But as of now, it just seems like the two realize this pettiness needs to be stopped. Let's just work together. Let's just sit down and talk and figure out what the hell we got to do. And that's what the two did a couple weeks ago. And it seems like DeSantis is on board. The committee so far has raised $13 million, of which $10.1 million came from Perlmutter and his wife Laura, according to campaign finance reports. Ike has been so helpful over the years, so a lot of it just made sense. That's what DeSantis advisor said. And I think, it's good stuff that DeSantis is using people that he has connections with to support Trump now. Even if it's not, $1 million a piece. Even if it's, $100,000 for big donors, that's still a lot of money. That's money that could go towards winning the election. That's why this is significant. $10 million on paper might not seem like a lot, but, think about it. It's still $10 million. Why would you pass that up? Because the donors that DeSantis will talk to, more than likely beforehand, we're not going to support Trump. So, it's free money. You cannot say no to free money. You just can't. And that's why it makes sense. DeSantis talks to these people that he has connections with, and they may not be on board with Trump, but he might be able to convince them, hey, he's still the better option than Biden. It would be stupid to not support him. He needs all the money he can get. Because this election, it will be close. And I know, the polling as of now indicates Trump's going to win, but you don't know what's going to happen in 3 months. Who knows? Something crazy could occur. So it's still better to make sure we have enough money going into October, just in case something crazy does happen. Just an example. So it's free money. Why would you pass up $10 million? Especially if these are people that would have never in a million years backed Trump. It's a win-win for everybody. DeSantis gets a chance at redeeming himself, while Trump gets free money. The fundraiser is the latest example of the fun of the relationship between Trump and DeSantis, who were longtime allies but after Trump endorsed DeSantis' 2018 run for governor, but eventually became bitter political enemies as the 2024 Republican presidential primary played out. And people forget about this. Back in 2018, 2019, hell, 2020, Trump and DeSantis were best friends. They were supporting each other whenever they needed to. They were good buddies, and they worked together. The problem is, the last 2 to 3 years, the DeSantis presidential campaign ruined what could have been a great relationship for the presidency. You could have had Trump as the president, then DeSantis as VP. And in 2028, DeSantis would have been the next president, more than likely. But his campaign, his advisors told him, no, you can actually beat the Orange Man. Yeah, that clearly worked. And that's why I really thought this entire time, DeSantis and Trump's relationship was going to get better. It just was. They were best buddies just 3 years ago. This hatred of each other was not real. It wasn't, legitimate hatred. Maybe Trump was a little bit bitter, maybe, that he backstabbed them. But I think a lot of this drama between the two, it was because they were opponents in the primary. That's what happened. And I never thought it was going to be a lasting rivalry. It's not going to last till 2028. And as of now, yeah, it's done. The Trump and DeSantis, they're not rivals anymore. It seems like, in fact, they're starting to rebuild that relationship they had. In April, DeSantis told supporters at a private event with donors that he was willing to raise money for Trump's presidential campaign. Later that month, he had breakfast with Trump at a South Florida golf club, and the two have had a handful of conversations since. So it seems like since April, the two started to talk. Like, they started to work together again after realizing, okay, this primary is done, let's move on. You're the nominee, and hopefully you can beat Biden in 2024. So let's work together. And that's good. That is a net positive for the GOP and for Trump's campaign, obviously. But the Republican Party needs unity. Now, does this mean that Ron DeSantis will have a political comeback? I don't know. I still doubt it, because while he's going to try to come back to trying to be the front runner for 2028, he's going to try. The problem is, I think he's done too much damage to his brand to come back from that. Because people look at DeSantis and think immediately about his 2024 campaign. A complete disaster. I mean, for crying out loud, that campaign made every mistake known to man. Whether it was a disaster launch, remember that? He launched his campaign on X, and it crashed every 5 minutes. It was pathetic. You couldn't hear him half the time. It was bad. Or, it was when the campaign began to say, actually, all the polling is fake. We are guaranteeing a victory in Iowa. We're going to win by 30 points because the polling is fake. They pushed that conspiracy. Even the day after Iowa, they were still saying it's all a grand conspiracy. The polling is all wrong. DeSantis will win. Yeah, that worked well. That campaign was a disaster. And a lot of people are going to say, why the hell would we vote for this guy when he can't even run a campaign properly? He can't even... I mean, he barely took second place in Iowa, but that's it. He couldn't even make it to New Hampshire. That's how pathetic a campaign it really was. Now, I personally hope he can make a comeback. I'm not saying that I will for sure support him in 2028, but he has so much potential, or at least he had so much potential to be Trump, but better. He had the possibility. He had the potential to do it. But sadly, as of now, I just don't see how he makes a political comeback of that magnitude. But this is a good start. We just gotta see what happens. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Godspeed to all of you.